What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. What's up, guys?
What up?
We here. We ready to go. I'm ready.
Josh,
There it is.
What we got going on today?
One thing real fast. Nothing is impossible. The
What
word
is this?
itself says impossible.
Wow, Josh, what an
Beautiful.
inspiration on this Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday.
Wednesday afternoon. Guys, joining us on this confidently a Wednesday afternoon to play some poll perception is our friend Dave Heilman, aka Dynasty Dorks. He is the content director over at Gridiron Rating. And make sure to check out Dynasty Dorks. You can find him on Twitter at Dynasty Dorks, on YouTube, Spotify as well. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I was kind of waiting to be re-invited to the show. So I check it out all the time, and I just love what you guys got going on. Great. Glad to be here.
And last time we brought you on for a mock draft, and now you are getting to play one of our competitive games. You're going head-to-head against these two fools over here, JL and Josh, in some poll perception.
Are you ready to lose, David? Are you ready to lose? Are you ready to lose? Because I'm taking you down.
I'm a Giants fan, so we great.
We stay losing.
You've been ready. You've been preparing for a while now.
Yeah,
I'm a Browns fan. I'm also usually ready to lose when games start right there. We got Craig in here saying, have a great show, FYF. And Dave, no matter who wins this game, we all win when we spend time with friends. Wow. You and Josh are both feeling a little inspirational.
Very sentimental show.
Yeah. Love you guys so much.
When people describe FYF, it's usually love and poop is the two words that come to mind immediately. Yeah. We got Jay Wall in here saying, are your dreams big enough? Probably not. What's up with you guys? You guys are on.
I don't know. No one has acknowledged the bit to me. Like, we never talk about it outside of the stream. So I'm just, I don't know what's happening. I don't get the joke.
Good afternoon, Albert. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. And coming out, BJ89 said, bam, bam indeed. And Alex in here saying, let's perceive some polls. No, let's preceive some polls. So do it now. Preceive them. You got to do it before I tell you them.
Him saying Bam made me. I forget. I miss Bam.
Bambo?
During the season. Yeah.
Bam, we'll find you. JR, hello, welcome in. Glad to have you here. And Jason, happy Hump Day. Man, God, when I worked at summer camp, that stupid Hump Day commercial came out, and all of like where the camel would walk around the office going like Hump Day, and all of the kids would run around screaming Hump Day. It didn't matter what day of the week it was. It was the funniest thing on planet Earth to them. I can't hear it anymore. Scott saying Josh reading Snapple caps now. No, Josh writes Snapple caps. Snapple actually watches the show, listens to what Josh says, and then puts him on the Snapple. And Scott, and you're saying, what up, dork?
What up?
Who are you talking? I know we got a Dynasty dork here, but we also have three just bona fide dorks on the stream as well.
Mike.
Listen. One of us is officially like titled a dork, so gotta give this one to David.
Yeah, we take that as a term of endearment around my house. My wife is Mrs. Dork, and
Mrs. Coming up, BJ89 says J Wall Karen. Yeah, J Wall, take that, you Karen.
I feel bad for all the people actually named Karen out there, to be honest.
I have a cousin named Karen.
Yeah.
I don't know who I feel worse for. I also knew a girl in high school named Alexa. And that's a pretty bad name to have as well. Like with Alexa out there. That's not nice. Mr. Scampers, welcome in. Our favorite cat. Howdy to you as well. And we got Kevin in the chat.
Second favorite cat.
Welcome. Who's your favorite cat?
I'm not at liberty to disclose that kind of information.
It is not the Clemson mascot. I'll tell you that much. That cat is terrifying.
I don't think that's a cat, Simon.
It's like a praying mantis that killed a tiger and put its skin on.
It's wearing its skin suit.
Yeah, like it's absolutely terrifying in here. Guys, like I mentioned before, we brought David on today to play some poll perception. Before we get started with that, though, a couple quick reminders. Number one, if you're not already following our friend David, go and do that right now on Twitter at Dynasty Dorks. It's right there below his handsome face on the screen, so make sure you go and follow him on Twitter. Then, two, if you're watching this stream, that means you're already on our YouTube and Twitch channels. If you're on our Twitch channel, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button to make sure you subscribe to our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. And hit that little bell to make sure you don't miss any of our videos that are coming out. Josh putting out his sexy shorts. You don't want to miss those or any of our live streams every day. You'll get
just so everyone knows, those are videos, short videos. That has nothing to do with what I'm wearing.
Sexy shorts. Yeah, short videos of his legs exposed in really short shorts.
That's a disappointment. I'll be
I
honest.
hear sexy shorts and my mind goes a different direction. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I've been watching too many TikToks, but I thought Josh was doing thirst traps for
I've got those dances down though, to be honest.
Listen, we got to get our subscribers up somehow. All right.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to sell yourself to get
no shame. No shame.
We're not above it.
Yeah, I tried putting thirst traps out there, but Jail deletes them immediately because he says we're just going to lose subscribers. Like that, those are not
dry
thirst traps. They're dry traps. Okay, guys, enough about dry traps. We'll get back to those later. That's on the next show. Today we are playing poll perception. I'm going to run through the rules and then we are going to get into it. So how this game works is before the show, I found 7 polls online about fantasy football, NFL. We got a lot of dynasty polls today. I'm going to just be honest with you. It's a lot of dynasty trades and who would you rather have on your team polls. So how this game is going to work is I'm going to propose one of these polls to one of our contestants. So Josh, I may ask you what percentage of people chose side A in this poll. You're going to give me a percentage. You're going to set the line basically. JL and David.
63%.
63%. JL and David, you would then be responsible for guessing whether the actual answer is over or under Josh's guess. So Josh, the closer you are, the more points you'll get. Up to 10 if you get it exactly right. Then if you're 15 away, you'll get 1, and that's anything outside of 15 is 0. David and JL, in that scenario, you will get 2 points if you correctly pick the over under. After 6 rounds like this, we will go into our 7th and final round where all of you will be guessing a specific number. Whoever's the closest in that final round will get 5 points unless you get it right on the head, in which case you'll get 10. Just like in the other rounds, the person with the most points at the end of that 7th and final round is our poll perception champion for today. You guys ready?
You know I'm going to win today, guys.
Let's do it.
I got good vibes today. You guys.
So Craig in here asking, have you ever had Scampy, Mr. Scampers?
Oh, and he said, of course. He responded.
Of course he has.
Of course.
And then Peaked in High School. Yeah, thank you for the plug here. We don't like to plug it too much, but
yeah.
Subscribe to Josh's OnlyFans for sexy shorts. Yeah.
Under Few Inch Fusters.
Yeah, Few Inch Fusters where you can find them over there. And Scott said, I just tried to Google sexy shorts on my work computer and now HR is calling. Thanks, Josh.
Seriously, though, if you were at a good company, they would already have that blocked. So.
And Mark, you're going to say that they'd be cool with it.
That's what I meant.
They would have already had that blocked.
What's up, Mark?
Our company encourages searches like that.
Yes.
Well, you have to put Josh in front of it for it to get blocked. Specifically, Josh's sexy shorts.
Yeah.
Happy Super Bowl week to you as well, Marty. Glad to have you in here. David, I'm going to let you pick if you want to go first, second, or third today.
I'll go first. Let's go.
Oh, and then JL, do you want to go second or third?
Balls on that, man. I'm going to go second.
Okay, Josh, that makes you third in this game.
Perfect. Yes.
Are you guys ready to get underway with this?
Let's go.
Let's do it, David.
I do not see too many people picking to go first. I like it.
Also, David, I found such a great poll. I was so excited to use it. And then I realized you tweeted it and I couldn't use it. It had like a great number of votes. It was a really good question. And then I was like, shit.
I really wish you would have included it. Like, I wish you would have not noticed it.
I can just go down my thread and my wall and see what the answers are.
Without looking, what would you have guessed right now without looking at it, David? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Is this the one that was ETN versus?
Yep, it was the top one. It was ETN versus
Breece Hall.
Yeah, Breece Hall was the one that I wanted to use. That was the good one.
So do you know it off the top of your head, David?
The percentage, no, but I do know that people voted Breece Hall over ETN. It's funny because people value draft picks so much. So when you went, it's a thread. So you do Travis Etienne versus every player in the top 15, and
of the
only Treylon Burks and Breece Hall were above Travis Etienne. But then you go with the draft picks, and people would prefer picks 1, 2, 3, and 4 over Travis Etienne. So they'd rather the top 4 picks, but there's only 2 players that they would pick over him.
Right.
I'll tell you, it makes sense.
It's the perception.
No, it makes sense though, because the draft pick, you're not locked into that player. You're not locked into that player until your rookie draft occurs. So we don't know what teams these guys are going to be on. We're going to see risers and fallers. And I think there's actually a tier of about 3 running backs when it comes down to it. While Hall would be my top one at this moment, probably there's like 3 running backs, and whoever falls into the best situation could easily be the top one, right? So I kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's a little ridiculous, right?
It is a little ridiculous. And then the other thing, though, is draft picks, like you said, they have that value. So maybe like as a trade asset, people are like, I would rather have the 103 instead of ETN, even though like on your roster, what would you prefer? They probably would prefer ETN over whoever they're going to pick at the 103. That's interesting, though, when you kind of like break it down into picks versus players, and it's basically the same thing.
103 or ETN? At this point, I think that the 103 probably does have more value. I would rather have ETN.
I would rather have ETN.
I think I would as well, but I agree with what Josh said. What about you, David?
See, I'm not sure what Doug Peterson is going to do, because we've seen his history with running backs, and it hasn't necessarily.
It's such a mess. He mixes in so many different. I forgot about that too. Actually, the Eagles. You didn't want any running backs back then.
Yeah, so I took that poll, and then I immediately tried to trade Travis Etienne for 103.
That's fair. See, that's why I said I think the 103.
But it's a super flex league, which I know that the interesting quarterback class. But it does, so I did get turned down for the record.
And we got Alex in here saying the 103 could be anything, even ETN. Yeah, it could even be someone similar to ETN. Mr. Scamper saying FYF auto starts all searches with sexy. Yeah, of course. Whenever we build in a search engine on our site or whatever, you'll be able to just type in a player name and it'll immediately put sexy before their name.
Sexy Rex.
And we've got a question in here from Lamb Cup saying, are you guys going to do a single season redraft, full PPR mock draft for next season anytime soon?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
anytime soon. Now that's a question.
We've been doing mostly Dynasty, because the season just ended, but we'll probably mix a redraft one in there one of these Mondays.
I would say in the next month or two, we'll have one of these.
Well, I did one last week, so you can go to Dynasty Dorks Fantasy Football on YouTube and check it out.
There you go.
There you go, Lamb Cup. He's got one already done for you right there. Craig says JL greater than 103, greater than ETN.
And then Lamb Cup real fast. As we get closer to the season, we're absolutely going to be doing a lot more of
We'll be doing mostly redraft mock drafts as we get closer to the season. Okay, guys, we are going to jump into our first poll. This is not one posted by Dave himself. This is posted by someone else entirely.
Okay, good.
This is a Dynasty 12-team Superflex PPR league with 3 flex spots. Okay, so they clarified there are 3 flex spots. Side A is Terry McLaurin. Side B is Elijah Moore. What percentage of people chose Terry McLaurin in this poll, Dave?
Oh, my.
73.
Wow, he's just like, I know what this is. Here it is. Take it.
73%.
73.
Is that your final answer?
Messing around. You're feeling good about it.
Yeah. Just punch it
in. Okay, guys, and everyone watching, if you have not played with us before, I just want to remind you, throw your guesses in the chat. If you are close, we will shout you out on Scream. We will shout you out on Scream. No, we'll shout you out on stream. And if you're really far off, we'll mock the hell out of you as well. So, but get them in there. It's more fun for everyone. You guys are playing along. Okay, John Luke. Dave locked in 73% for this poll. What do you think the answer is? Terry McLaurin over Elijah Moore in this format. I know how much Superflex matters here.
Yeah, 73 is a pretty solid line. This is tough for me because I feel like I don't have a great grasp of the community's temperature on Elijah Moore. I feel like every time I see something, he is almost always going higher than I would have expected. Terry McLaurin, he's still going to be a pretty high round draft pick, though. Oh, God, I'm going to take the over. I'm taking the over. Let's do it.
The over from John Luke. Josh, what about you? Are you following JL here? Or are you taking the under on Dave's guess of 73%?
So while I would not 10 times out of 10 draft Terry McLaurin over Elijah Moore, I think this is going to be closer. I would still go on the Terry McLaurin side of things here. However, I think the perception for Elijah Moore, this young rookie that produced in a bad situation when he was on the field, especially after the first couple weeks, I think a lot of people want stocks of Elijah Moore. I'm going to take the under here. I'm going to take the under here. Just because I think the perception is a little bit lower in Terry McLaurin, a little bit higher Elijah Moore.
You split the room, Dave. That's usually a good sign when you get someone on either side of your guess. That means they both thought you had a good guess right there. We got some answers in the chat as well. J-Wall with 57%, Dame with 50%, Alex with 67%, Jay with 57%.
I messed up.
Albert with 63%. Feiji with 78%. So that's an over for you, JL. Craig was 67%. Mr. Scampers with 55%. Scott was 61%. And then JR is on the same page as you, JL, with 78% right there.
JR has been very good lately.
JR has been very good lately. So maybe that's a good sign for you. Who knows? Who knows? I do. I know. Guys,
Simon definitely knows.
The actual percentage of people that chose Terry McLaurin over Elijah Moore in this poll, based on 1,344 votes. It's a lot of votes, JL. Was 46%. 46% of people chose Terry McLaurin in this poll. So, Dave, unfortunately, you were outside of that 15 percentage point range, and JL picking the over, you were even further off. Josh,
let's go with the under.
2 points for this one. So, guys, I was shocked by the results of this poll whenever I clicked Terry McLaurin. I expected it to be a runaway, and I like Elijah Moore. Dave, does this surprise you, the results of this poll?
When you said how many people chose Terry McLaurin over Elijah Moore, I thought you were giving away that Terry McLaurin was picked over Elijah Moore.
I'll be honest with you, David. That is something that I used to think was a thing. But even if Terry McLaurin's less, like how many people chose Terry McLaurin over Elijah Moore? It's still the same thing.
I used to think that chose him over. Yeah,
I used to think that. I just recently did just did a Dynasty Startup Draft. It's still going on, and McLaurin definitely went above Elijah Moore.
I'm doing a Dynasty Startup as well. Let me check it. And if you want to check yours, you can go ahead. Terry McLaurin was drafted at the 408, and Elijah Moore was drafted at the 512.
Wow.
So
I'm not doing a startup draft right now, but if I was, Terry McLaurin would be going at least 3 rounds ahead of Elijah Moore.
And this is a Superflex league.
And this is an imaginary league in my case.
Tight end premium Superflex league.
So, David,
so in mine, Terry McLaurin went 509, and Terry McLaurin 509, Elijah Moore 510.
Wow!
Whoa!
That shows it. That's it.
Superflex Dynasty.
So I mean that checks out with this one being around 50%, right? If they're being selected in that range, but that blows my mind. David, would you be taking Terry McLaurin here, or would you be taking Elijah Moore in a dynasty league?
McLaurin.
Yeah, Josh, JL, McLaurin for you guys as well.
Oh.
It would absolutely be McLaurin. I mean, I just think McLaurin over the course. That's the thing. He just hasn't shown the upside yet. Elijah Moore just had like a points per game season, just as good as Terry McLaurin's ever had, in probably just as bad of a situation that Terry McLaurin's ever had. So I can see the logic. But just the years that we've seen Terry McLaurin produce being in a bad situation, that's why I would choose him over Elijah Moore. I'm high on Elijah Moore, though.
How many games did Elijah Moore play well in?
The first couple he didn't, and then he had a little bit of an injury, and then came back. And once he came back, I think he was a stud while he was playing. And then he got hurt at the end of the season again.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 games.
Then he was good.
He had a stretch where he killed it though, where he was the guy. Dame, I think, was the closest with a guess of 50%. Nice job on that one.
There were two weeks where he scored 20 points or over, and then 1 week where he scored 14.6 points, and then all the rest of the weeks were less than 10, or 10 or less, I should say.
Yeah, but it's like 9 or 8.
9 or
like
8.
if you look at his points per game, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just a small number of games.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone's disagreeing that it's a small number of games. I think Josh was just saying, like, in that small number of games, we've seen some crazy upside from him.
Man,
and that can
enough
get people
upside
excited.
to take out
people
Terry
giving up on Terry. That's I agree with Scott and Jay Wall. Give me Terry all day.
Difference in Dynasty that I think really people are just.
Yeah, but like. Who cares? Like in 3 years, they're both still going to be great wide receivers.
In 3 years, Terry McLaurin will play 29, and you will not be able to trade him.
Yeah. I guess his trade value will be worse, but from a player value, he could still very well be near the top of his game. I get it.
He'll still be able to playing well, but he'll be like Mike Evans or you're older Mike Evans.
That's a good call. And I'm a big Elijah Moore fan coming out last year. I was someone that I was saying I had him so close to Bateman that I was just like trade back and get Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore plus.
If you can get Elijah Moore plus for Terry McLaurin, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, would you do Elijah Moore plus a second for Terry McLaurin?
It'd have to be a high.
Yeah, apparently the same value according to the polls and the ADP.
Yeah, that's wild to me. Eric said weeks 8 through 13, he was the wide receiver 4. So I think that stands out in a lot of people's minds right there.
Yeah, it's like isolating those games I was talking about. The 2 20-point games were 9 and 11, and then 13 was the 14-point game.
Fagey in here saying, what? That is a shocker. People need to realize it's the Jets. Also, they may sign a big name, but I think Elijah Moore's good enough, even if they sign a name there, that he can
just
carve
so
out
you guys
a role.
know, I have in my rankings, my wide receiver rankings, Terry McLaurin 16 and Elijah Moore is 18.
You guys know there's 18? A much bigger discrepancy in mine. I have Terry McLaurin as a top 7 guy in my Dynasty wide receiver ranking, so this one wouldn't even be close for me, but I get it. I understand it right there. John Luke, are you ready for your first poll?
Not if it's like the last one.
Real fast. But he's young. He could be anything. Even Scary
Terry.
Okay, JL, we are going to go to your poll. The score right now, Josh has an early lead, 2-0, but it is still obviously anybody's game. And Craig, I'm with you. Me and Craig is a big Jamison Crowder truther, and it's something I respect about him. I love Jamison Crowder. Okay, JL, are you ready?
Yep.
This is a Dynasty Superflex League. That is all the context we're given. Side A is the 2022 112. Side B is Ezekiel Elliott. What percentage of people chose the 112 in this poll?
Ooh, okay. That is tricky.
Hold on, timeout, guys. Scott Fish is here. Relax.
Just got here.
Scott Fish. You're late. That's a detention.
I have a feeling he's going to get this one exactly right. I have a feeling.
Why? Is this from him?
No. I have no idea where this is from. But you know, Scott does.
That's true, but he's on a pretty big delay, so we'll get the correct answer.
That's what I'm saying exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying, JL.
All right, I'm gonna think people hate Ezekiel Elliott. 112 is not that great of a pick, but Superflex, it's fine. It's all right. I mean, it's probably where you're getting Rashad Bateman now on a Superflex. Yeah, probably in Superflex. That's about where you're getting Rashad Bateman this past year. I'm gonna go with 63%. 58%.
Are you locking that in?
59%. Locked in.
59% locked in. Josh, are you going with the over or under on JL's answer of 59% on the 112 side?
I personally would have gone a little bit closer to the middle in this one. That's just me. I am not sure where it's going to go, but just having said that, I got to take the under because, like I said, I think it's going to be a little bit closer to the middle here.
Josh taking the under.
Taking the under as well.
Damn it.
Okay, we got double unders on JL's guess of 59%. That's what you said, right, JL?
That is.
Okay, we've
and
got
just a couple of other factors here. I think people perceive this as a weaker draft class, and the 112, people, they'll be like, give me Zeke. I know he's a little bit older and maybe a little bit less efficient than he's typically been, but he's still in that high powered offense. So
also, before we get to our answer, Scott in here saying, go follow Dave on TikTok. Are you posting thirst traps over on
TikTok game?
Yeah, I got some good TikTok game. No dances, but
I think I do.
I had some random videos that somehow got like 2 million follows. So
nice.
Cool.
Nice. So make sure you guys go follow Dave on TikTok. Is it Dynasty Dorks over there as well?
You got some random videos with 2 million views.
Yeah, there's
pretty
badass.
badass.
People thought I was trying to trick people. They just did not read my sarcasm. So for like 2 weeks, I just kept getting, "You're such a liar. What an idiot." And I'm like, okay, because I said that the guy from YouTube grew up to be this country rapper, and some people actually believed it, and it was like, is it factor cap? And it's like, this is all just a joke. And the guys commented, they thought it was funny, but I got like 2.2 million views on it.
That's awesome. That's badass.
That's hilarious. That's a ton of having that randomly blow up right there.
Yeah.
We got some guesses in the chat. J-Wall with 62%, Craig with 43%, Fagey with 66%, Dame with 58, Alex with 71, Mr. Scampers with 33, Eric with 48, Albert with 72, Jay with 86.
All over the place.
Scott with 24, and he says it's always 24 now. One of these days he's going to be right with that. Brady said 52%, and JR with 83%. Come here now, 51, Kev 52, and Mr. Scampers correcting.
These are literally all over the place.
Yeah, JL, it is like you've got it's all over. There's no barometer here from the chat, really.
We got down in the 20s, up in the 80s, and then a lot around mid-range.
Yep. Are you guys ready for the answer to this poll?
Holy crap, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like people's values are differing.
Let's do it. The percentage of people that chose the 112 over Ezekiel Elliott in this poll was, number may sound familiar, 46%.
Yes!
Exactly. It was 46%. Yes! So JL, you were within 13 percentage points away. So you're going to get 1 point there, but your two opponents correctly guessed the over under on your line. So they will both get an additional 2 points for correctly guessing that one. And JL, I'm going to come to you first. Which side of this would you be taking? I think this was an interesting poll and it was around 50%. Would you prefer the 112 or would you prefer Zeke?
I would prefer Zeke.
And is that just you don't care about his age? You don't think the 112 has that kind of value?
I mean, yeah, he's older, but he's 26 years old, and I still think he's extremely talented running back. And I think, like a few other running backs who are, I would say, like in his cohort in terms of like age and prowess, a couple of bad injuries that have just like been prolonged enough that it's really affecting their value. So I think Zeke will bounce back and have a very productive next few years.
Yeah, I tend to be with you. Dave, what about you? Would you be taking the 112 here or would you be on the Zeke side with JL?
Yeah, it really depends on where you're at. I mean, I think 112 does have the bigger value, even if you just traded 112 and tried to get, a random 23 first or a couple picks from that. I think you have value with that. Zeke is hard to trade right now. And, but if you were to look at it and say, where would you rank Zeke in this running back class? And if you really need a running back and you are like, you're going to win it, yeah, then go give the 112 away. And, because even though it's nice to have, it could turn into dust. You could do what I did and get Terrace Marshall all over your teams. And, where would Zeke, like the question is like, where is Zeke in the running backs? Do you have him at 4 after Walker, or do you have him like over Cook and the other guys?
Well, I think you summed it up perfectly, Dave, when you said if you're going to win it, if you can win it now, then go ahead and get Zeke, right? If you're in any kind of rebuild or you don't really think you have a shot at winning it this next year, take those other running backs, at least that top tier running backs. When it comes down to it for me, though, I think that Zeke is going to, I would end up drafting him in the top 12, probably regardless. Just because like when we get into the season, and I mean, Zeke, his entire career, he's been a number 1 running back. In 2017, when he only played 10 games, he got suspended. He was the 13th overall PPR running back. Ever since then, he's been a top 10 running back. That's over the course of 7 years. I mean, it's just like, I know he's old and maybe you only get a few more years with him, but I'll take Zeke here.
So Josh, I wanted to ask you this one. So Brady said, to put this in context, would you trade away Zeke to get Pittman? Would you?
I would rather have Pittman.
Yeah.
Not much rather. But I don't think you're guaranteed to get Michael Pittman at the 112 in this draft class at all.
Yeah. I think
while
you're right.
Pittman
right
was the 112 probably in the 2020 draft class, that draft class was loaded, so.
But the name was already brought up. You could easily get a Terrace Marshall as well.
Could.
And I still regret the trade I made with JL to this day, where I traded back one spot. He grabbed Waddle and I grabbed Marshall. I thought I was being sneaky, getting some extra value because I liked Marshall a lot. But turns out JL was the sneaky.
I don't think Terrace Marshall is a complete bust.
I do.
Like
I
don't think so. I don't think we've
he had
seen
a bust rookie season, but I'm not completely giving up on him.
I saw nothing to give any sort of encouragement from him this year. Like even the receivers that like underperformed, we saw flashes here and there. Like Rondale Moore, I know he underperformed. There were flashes, like things you were excited about. I know, but I saw nothing. Like not even a single play that I can think of from Terrace Marshall to give me any level of excitement.
Oh, he definitely had some good like one-off plays randomly spread out, but it's just that offense. It wasn't a very good offense. They weren't able to move down the field. You had guys like DJ Moore who had an incredible number of targets, and receptions and just wasn't able to do anything with
Copy
it.
Anderson had an incredible amount of targets. Didn't do anything, but he had an incredible amount.
Yeah,
of
so
targets.
you're in a crowded wide receiver room with on a terrible offense with a terrible offensive line. I think that's like and then add the injury aspect into it. It's just, yeah, of course he had a bad rookie season.
I mean, but Scott, I saw a tweet. I forget who put it out. I don't remember if it was Scott or someone else. It was a while ago. They compiled every rookie wide receiver that had a season within like a certain range of Terrace Marshall's. And on that entire list, there was like 15 that completely irrelevant names you never even heard of. And then like one name that made it out of that. It's not a good track record for players that played like that. Scott, maybe you can remember who put that tweet out, but Jail, I hear your points as well. This was maybe an exception, like how bad his situation was for a rookie, but I would not be.
Yeah, I think you got some like correlation issues there too with that type of thing, right? Like the players were all in different situations. You don't necessarily know what went into it. It could have been just because those players were bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But Terrace Marshall could also be bad, and that could be why
he's
there and matches up with some of those guys. Okay, so Dave, you have moved up to second place with that. You now have 2 points. JL, you have 1, and Josh, you're playing perfect so far, getting both of the over-unders right with a total of 4 points so far. And before we go to your poll, fast. I was going to bring this up.
Now he keeps bringing this up. I think I am remembering. It would not just have been Justin Jefferson for Marquise Brown, but it would have been. It was a large package, right? It seems like you watched the video recently. Did I talk about the package? Like he's brought that up a couple times. I just want to.
Are we talking about the shorts again?
Yeah. So I know it would have been a package if it was done. I kind of can remember this now. I just can't find it.
That's okay.
Too many Dynasty leagues.
Guys, we are going to move on to our next poll. Josh, are you ready for your first poll of the game?
Yeah, give it to me. Baby.
Okay, Josh, my poll for you is from a Dynasty 12-team Superflex PPR league. Side A is Deebo Samuel. Side B is Dalvin Cook. What percentage of people would prefer Deebo Samuel in this poll?
There's no doubt in my mind. I am going on the Deebo Samuel side of things here. Just to give you some context, I don't know exactly where it is, but I just said I was in a Dynasty Startup Draft, and Deebo Samuel, I believe, was either a very early 3rd round pick or a late 2nd round pick, and Dalvin Cook fell to like the 4th or 5th round, I think, early 5th. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong there. So I'm absolutely going on the Deebo side. It's just really how heavy I want to go on the Deebo side, and like it's just when it comes down to it, in a redraft, you're going to take Dalvin Cook probably close to Deebo Samuel, but in a dynasty, Dalvin Cook's value is going so low. There's no way I would even consider Dalvin Cook over Deebo Samuel. So, I like what Marco with my 9s. I'm thinking anywhere from 72 to 81. I feel like 81's really far though. So 72. Just go in the middle of it. I'm going to just go in the middle of that. I'm going to say 77%.
Whoa, that's not a factor of 9.
Yeah, I don't care. I did it. 77 is probably going to screw me, but whatever. And then however it screwed me, I'll be like, I almost went with 72, or I almost went with 81.
Josh, hear me out.
Classic.
7 plus 7 is 14, and then 1 plus 4 is 5, and then 5 times 4 times 1, which are the numbers of 14, is not. 5. Yeah, never mind. It doesn't work.
Yep.
If you keep on going, eventually it reaches 9.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So, Josh, you're locked in at 77%.
77% sounds good.
Okay, Dave, are you taking the over or under on Josh's guess of 77% on the Deebo Samuel side of this one?
Oof. Yeah, that's a little high. I'm gonna go the under.
Okay.
Dave taking the under on Josh's guess. Thinks you're a little high. JL, what about you here?
I think you're a little high as well, Josh. Don't do drugs, kids. I'm going to go with under as well.
Double unders. Don't do drugs, kids. And Josh at 77%. You checked the answer?
Dalvin Cook went at the 5. No. The draft I'm in. Dalvin Cook went at the 5-3, and Deebo Samuel went to 3-3. So there were 2 rounds separate.
There you go. Make sure you're not looking at that information before your guesses, guys, just so you're not influencing it over there.
Yeah, just because my startup draft really determines everyone.
I didn't want to call him out. I was just doing a collective thing so that I didn't call him out. Okay, guys.
It's off my iPad now. Don't worry.
We had some answers in the chat. Eric said, that's what she said. So that's a great answer. I'm pretty sure you're going to be pretty close on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wall said 77%. Phaedra says Debo all day.
He had to put that in before I said mine too. Jay Wall, I swear to God, I did not see yours.
Peaked in high school. Alex and Brady both at 81%. Scott at 70. Eric at 71. Mr. Scampers at 91. Dame at 63. Jay at 64. We've got Jay Peters at 78%. Albert with 55. Come Here Now Beach with 56. Kev with 64. Scott with 24. Craig with 55. John with 75. And Jay Wall said Josh is cheating ass.
I didn't see who said that. And I was like, wait, did someone see the poll? Did I get read on? But I saw Jay Wall.
You copied him. And Josh, if you're going to cheat off someone, you might not want to do it off Jay Wall.
I know.
His track record's Okay, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose Deebo Samuel in this poll was 80%. It was 80%. So, Josh, you're within 5, meaning you are going to get 5 points. And both of your opponents took the under on this poll, meaning they're going to get nothing here, giving you a pretty big lead after our first full round of polls. So, Josh, that's putting you up to 9. David, you're at 2 and Jail at 1, but it is still anybody's game. It is. You guys got a whole nother poll left before we go into Final Jeopardy here. This one seems pretty straightforward.
Let's go,
I think all of us agree on Deebo. His value is ascending in Dynasty, whereas Dalvin Cook's value seems to be descending right now. But what I was curious about, I was going to bring this up from Coming Out Beach 89. How do we value Dalvin right now? So, Josh, how do you value Dalvin Cook in Dynasty? Is he still a top 12 Dynasty running back for you?
Probably not. Let me look at my rankings real fast. He is absolutely okay. So he is a top 12. When it comes down to it, though, he's in a very large tier for me. He's a 26-year-old running back who, while there's going to be games you remember from last season. If you look at the course of his season, his points per game came way down, and he's getting a little bit older. He's always dealt with injuries. I'm a little bit nervous for Dalvin Cook from a dynasty perspective.
Are you the same nervous as for Austin Eckler? Like, would you take Austin Eckler or
injury risk, and Austin Eckler is a pass catching running back that is paired with Justin Herbert. So I would rather have Austin Eckler for sure over Dalvin Cook myself.
Yeah, and over Deebo.
I would rather have Deebo over all three.
Both of them.
All of them. Yeah.
Dave, what about you? How do you feel about Dalvin Cook's dynasty value right now? Is he a top 12 guy for you, or do you share the concerns Josh has?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a change of the offense, and there's going to be some questions there. He is typically going to, he has missed a couple of games. So there is some concern. I would take Deebo over Dalvin Cook, but, it's easy to do this in a vacuum on a poll, but when you're looking at the running backs on the board, I don't think you're going to just let Dalvin Cook slide by this far, like this much of a gap between him and Deebo. I would take Deebo ahead, but Dalvin Cook is still a top 12 running back.
I tend to agree with you. I think this poll doesn't illustrate how close their value probably is in a dynasty league, especially once the draft's done. You start looking at trade value. I wouldn't be shocked to see a straight up trade like this denied based on somebody's roster construction. Those running backs can become super valuable. We had 2 really close answers in here. Peaked in high school and Brady, both with 81%.
Nice.
Coming in at around the same time, man. You guys were so close to getting it right on there.
And I don't even have to make excuses for going with 77%. So we're good.
Scott said, I always think Cook catches more passes than he actually does. Yeah.
He's a very good pass catcher.
But I wouldn't call him a pass catching back in the same way that Austin Eckler is, right? He's not used in that way. Okay, guys, we are done with one full round of polls here, and Josh has a pretty commanding lead, but there is still time for you guys to come back. David, are you ready for your next poll?
Let's do it.
Okay, your poll. This is a Dynasty 12-team PPR league. Side A is T. Higgins. Side B is DK Metcalf. And side C is Austin Eckler. What percentage of people would prefer T. Higgins out of these 3 players?
Oh, no, it's a three-way.
And just so you guys know, I determine the order of the polls before the show starts, and then whatever order you guys pick is what order they show up on the screen in.
So Eckler versus Metcalf versus Higgins, and I need to pick how many picked Higgins.
Yes, what percentage of people picked Higgins in this poll?
23%.
23% from Dave on the T. Higgins side. JL, do you think the actual answer is over or under 23% here?
Oh, I changed 24.
Okay, 24.
Scott.
We'll allow it.
For the fifth.
Since JL didn't say anything yet.
That totally changes my answer.
I'm sure it does.
Scott said, "Oh no, it's a three-way." Josh.
Oh no, it's
Oh yeah, it's a three-way.
23%. I think it's gonna be over. I think it's gonna be over.
Over from JL. Josh, what about you on this one?
So I kind of like where David's thought process was, or what I perceived to be his thought process. In my mind, I think DK Metcalf and Austin Eckler are going to get drafted ahead of T. Higgins in most leagues. Having said that, T. Higgins is getting a lot of hype, especially on Twitter, right? And DK Metcalf is going the other way, I would say, if anything. I think you have a really good number. 24, I think, is right around where I guess I probably would have said something like 27. I guess I'll take the over, just like thinking like just T. Higgins. It's T. Higgins. People see the T. Higgins name and they get excited. But I would draft both
Joe Burrow.
DK Metcalf. Yeah, I would draft both DK Metcalf and Austin Eckler ahead of T. Higgins. Probably Austin Eckler and T. Higgins. I don't know. I'd
be willing to bet you that T. Higgins is at least, if not already, pretty soon going to be drafted over Austin Eckler.
I agree with you. I think there's a lot of leagues out there where you will see that. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think you guys are.
Can I look at my draft? I'm locking in my over. Yes. You mind if I look at my draft?
Go ahead. So you guys have 24% from Dave, and then over from both of you guys, JL and Josh. Just to confirm, while Josh is looking at that, let's go through the answers in the chat. J-Wall with 43%, Feiji with 34%, Dame with 27%, Scott with the 24%. Scott and Dave right in line on that one.
27
was 18%. Kev with 27%. Albert with 25, Mr. Scampers with 44, Jay with 18, come here now with 19, John with 18 as well, Eric with 22%, Craig with 34, and Dan in here with 30. So the answers are on both sides here. The chat seems kind of split.
I checked. So DK Metcalf, he went at the 3.5, Austin Eckler 3.7, and T. Higgins 4.1. So they're all like within a half round of each other.
Oh, they were right there on that one. Oh, and come here now, Beach 89 is amending their answer to 21%. Well, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose T. Higgins over DK Metcalf and Austin Eckler in this poll was 34%. It was 34%. So, Dave, that switch to 24 actually earned you 2 additional points.
Yeah, that was big.
You within 10 percentage points. Your 2
huge.
Opponents also got the over under correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
So you will move up to 5 points. JL, you're going to move up to 3, and Josh, you are going to move up to 11 on that one. And Craig,
it's a good day for me today, guys. I don't know
got that one exactly right.
Oh, that's not Craig.
Oh, that's Feiji on that one. Oops, sorry. I know Craig got it just right as well.
Well done.
Craig in here. Nice job, Craig, and nice job, Feiji, on that one. So let me go ahead and up these scores. And the player I was most interested in this poll was DK Metcalf. So I'm going to break down how this played out for you. DK Metcalf won with 41%. T. Higgins had 34, and Austin Eckler had 24%. Is how this one broke down here. So Austin Eckler in third, T. Higgins in second, and DK Metcalf in first. Dave, so DK Metcalf, we're seeing his value decline. Are you expecting a bounce back season from him? Do you think we see a resurgence in his value? People are forgetting maybe the kind of wide receiver he is, or do you think this is about where he belongs?
No, I think, you look at the beginning of the season and what Russell Wilson was able to do before the Mallard finger injury. He was on pace. DK Metcalf was on pace. Everything got thrown off by that. And, it really, really hurt DK to have Geno Smith half the year. And then the other part of that half was Russell Wilson with he's supposed to come back. It was like 2-month injury, and he came back in like 4 weeks. So I think DK Metcalf's a buy low right now. And I expected more people to be heavy on the Austin Eckler side. Again, if you're in a poll, you're not really drafting these guys, and youth always dominates the polls. And I need to make sure I add that into my calculations.
Yeah, this game is all about figuring out how people are going to vote, right? And I think you're right. Some people really love youth in these leagues.
I will say though, when you're drafting a dynasty startup, there's a lot of people out there that are like, I just want a young team. I don't even want to mess around with those old heads, right? When it comes down to it. But I agree with you. I think DK Metcalf's a good buy low. He was like the #1 dynasty wide receiver, like at different times throughout the last couple seasons, and right now he's way down. So I think there's a very high likelihood he's still with Russell Wilson as well. I know a lot of people are concerned about that.
There we go. Well, JL, are you ready for your next poll?
Yes, I am.
Something is missing. One of my polls is missing. So while you answered this one, I'm going to have to add that one in here in the banners. I'm seeing the results for it, but now I am missing the poll itself. So while you answered this one, I will get the other poll added in there. JL, your poll is a Dynasty 12-team Superflex tight end premium stream. Or not stream, tight end premium league. Side A is Ryan Tannehill and Rashad Penny. Side B is Zach Wilson. What percentage of people chose the Ryan Tannehill and Rashad Penny side of this trade?
Oh my God. I hate that you gave me a Rashad Penny poll. I hate that.
It's obviously just Rashad Penny. Take out Ryan Tannehill and still Rashad Penny.
Oh my God. Rashad Penny, I don't know how to value him. It's like,
tough one to value.
Yeah, everybody had left him for dead and was just dragging me on Twitter all year when I would bring up jokes about Rashad Penny. And then he does well for a few games, and now everyone seems to do a 180. I'm gonna go with 16%.
16% from JL on that one on the Ryan Tannehill and Rashad Penny side.
Let's go 19%. 17%.
Okay, final answer?
Yes.
Okay, you're locked in. Can't change it now no matter how bad you want to. 17%. Josh, do you think the actual answer is over or under 17% right there?
I got to take the over. You just didn't give me any room, JL. I got to take the over. It's Ryan Tannehill who I think some people out there might have Ryan Tannehill ranked over Zach Wilson. I wouldn't. I don't think most people will, but I think Zach he's the best part of this trade. It's not even close. Rashad Penny, he's going to be drafted late. It's not that big of a concern, but I have to take the over. I have to.
Dave, what about you? Are you agreeing with Josh here, or are you taking the under on JL's guess of 17%?
17% picked Zach Wilson.
No, pick side A. Ryan Tannehill and Rashad Penny was JL's guess.
I'm going to go over.
They've taken the over on that one, and sounds like you really think it's the over based on the question you asked. You thought maybe JL was guessing the other side there.
Yeah,
with the number.
I think Zach Wilson's going to win this. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, we have some guesses in the chat as well. Coming out, Beach 89 with 27%, Feiji with 41, peaked in high school with 44%, Albert with 27, Kev with 37, Brady with 35, and Mr. Scampers with 55%.
How old is Ryan Tannehill now? Like 33, right? 34, 33, something like that.
At least 12. I know that for sure.
Yeah, definitely 12.
33, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the same age as Russell Wilson, and Matthew Stafford just turned 34.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering.
Jay also coming in here with a guess of 38%. Well, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose side A, Ryan Tannehill and Rashad Penny in this poll was, for the third time today, 46%. It was 46% exactly. I found 3 polls where the answer was 46% for today. Not on purpose. I just realized it now as we were running through it that 3 of them have the same answer. But JL, unfortunately, that's going to get you 0 points, leaving you at 3. But it is going to move your 2 contestants up. So, David, you're going to move up to 7 points. Josh, you are moving up to 13 points on this one.
All I do is get points today.
All you do is get points today.
Just today.
So Josh,
I thought about going the opposite of Josh just to catch up, but
you couldn't.
It's tough.
Scott, didn't you say every player in the NFL is now younger than you now that Tom Brady retired? So this is,
I think that's what he said.
That you don't have to qualify every time you talk about
every
a player who's younger than you. Like you should say that every time then, or none of the time.
Najee Harris is younger than Scott Fish.
Believe it or not. Today,
so
you
guys, Zach Wilson in the startup I'm doing right now went 7-4, and Ryan Tannehill went 8-2. So makes sense.
Yeah, closer.
Yeah.
Josh, are you ready for your final poll?
I am. Give it to me.
Okay, your poll. This is a Dynasty 12-team Superflex PPR 3 Flex League. This may be a familiar format. It's one of the earlier polls. Side A is CeeDee Lamb. Side B is DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry, Marvin Jones, and a 2023 second. What percentage of people chose side A, CeeDee Lamb, in this poll?
So I know in my Dynasty startup that I'm doing right now, and I keep referencing that, I know CeeDee Lamb went in the second round, and I know DeAndre Hopkins and Derrick Henry, I know pretty much exactly where they went because I got them both in the 6th and 7th rounds of my draft. 6th and 7th rounds. That just shows how low the value for Hopkins and Derrick Henry is at this point too. A 2023 second is going to be even lower value than that. However, I think people are going to see the names in this trade poll in there and be like, holy crap, like that for CeeDee Lamb, and people are lower than CeeDee Lamb right now. I think it's very even actually when it comes down to it. I'll slightly lean on the CeeDee Lamb side, I guess. But it's Derrick Henry. Give me 50%.
50% even, Josh?
Whatever.
That's your final answer?
Whatever.
Whatever, 50%. Dave, do you think the actual answer is over or under Josh's guess of 15% here?
I said 50.
Or 50%, 5-0.
Yeah.
So over or under 50% took CeeDee Lamb?
Yes.
Oof. I'm going to go with over 50% took CeeDee Lamb. 51%.
51%. He thinks it's right there on that line. Jail, what about you? Do you think it's over or under 50%?
I'll take the over.
Double overs on Josh's guess of 50% here. We had some answers in the chat as well to go with this one. First, Scott saying Zach Wilson could be my kid, so you're also older than him. Eric saying 75%. Brady with 33. Alex with 64. Fagey saying 60%. Come here now with 6% on the CeeDee Lamb side. Dame with 42. Scott with 46. Mr. Scampers with 52. Albert with 63. Mr. Scampers with 5D. I'm guessing that's 50 from Mr. Scampers. And Scott Fish saying 24%. The actual percentage of people that chose CeeDee Lamb in this poll was 29%. 29%
would have been better.
CeeDee Lamb. 15 would have been better.
Shut my
Scott
mouth.
Fish was the closest with 24% on that front.
Wow.
No one gets points on that one, meaning we are going to go into our final round with the scores exactly as they are.
Even though the values, I think the value might be on CeeDee Lamb because of those aging assets, but look at those names. That's why CeeDee Lamb didn't win this poll. DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry. You add in a draft pick, it's like.
Yeah, I think the two names, I think you summed it up very well right there, Josh. DeAndre Hopkins and Derrick Henry was enough to pull people that direction. But this is a tough one here. But we are going to move into our final poll. A reminder for you guys on how this is going to work. I'm going to propose one poll to all three of you. What I'll need you to do is write down the percentage you think chose side A in this poll. Either write it down on a piece of paper or on your phone, whichever one you prefer. Yeah. I will then ask you guys to reveal them to me. Whoever's the closest will get 5 points unless you're right on, in which case you get 10, which means Dave and JL, you guys are still in this. We've seen it happen before. Right on the dot to win the game, or in JL's case, right on the dot to tie the game. So are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this. I got it in just in time. The final poll, got it typed in. If Taysom Hill and Michael Thomas are guaranteed to start 17 games, where is Taysom Hill ranked for you? Side A, top 6. This is quarterbacks. So this is just quarterbacks. Side A, top 6 quarterback. Side B, 7 to 10. Or side C, outside the top 10. What percentage of people said that he was a top 6 quarterback for next season? I ran out of characters here, guys, so there was some context. This was asking about redraft, not about dynasty. And it did specify top 6 QB, but I couldn't fit all those characters in there. So I left those out, but it's redraft, and this is just talking quarterbacks. So I need you guys to write down your answer.
Decision of gaps there. Like 1 to 6, 7 to 10, and then anything outside top 10.
So do we put the percentage or we just pick a side?
You put the percentage for side A. Yeah, it's always side A. So you just pick the percentage for top 6. We got some guesses coming in the chat. Josh looks ready, unless that's just his thinking face.
No, I'm ready. Should I put my feet up? Does that look more like?
Don't show your feet.
Yeah, we'll get kicked off Twitch again.
I think
Josh.
you only saw like a quarter of the foot. Is that okay?
It's like a tease, foot tease. You guys ready? Dave, you got your answer?
You can't see it. 7%.
7%.
We're showing.
Dave, JL, what about you? 24%.
Oh,
and Josh?
Guys.
9%. So Dave, you're kind of boxed in a little bit right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
With Josh taking the 9% on your guess. We had some guesses in the chat here. Scott Fish going with 24%. Alex with 14%. Cam said 42%. Brady with 11%. Dame with 8%. JR also with 8%. Fagey with 38%. Jay coming in with 10%. Scott with 5%. Eric with 17%. Albert with 18%. Come here now. Beach with 7%. Mr. Scampers with 3%. Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Let's do this. The actual percentage of people that chose top 6 in this poll was 5%. 5%. So, Dave, you are the closest, which is going to put you up to 12 points, one behind Josh in the final standings. And oh my gosh, were you close to getting that last one exactly right? Josh, your answer would have been good enough on most days to win that one, but not today. Dave snuck it out from under you on that one. But Josh,
I really thought I was going to pull out that win.
Yeah,
it was so close.
Dale, if it makes you feel better, I never thought you were going to pull that win out.
That does make me feel
better. You didn't disappoint me. And Scott, shout out to Scott getting that one exactly right in the chat.
Great
there.
job, Scott.
Nice.
Guys, before we jump off for today, congratulations to Josh. Nice win. I know you needed it today, my man.
I did.
And a big thank you to our guest, Dave Heilman, for coming on today, a.k.a. Dynasty Dorks. Make sure you guys go follow him on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. He's Dynasty Dorks.
Do it.
Across those platforms. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I love this. The crowd is always into it. I love what you guys going on. Make sure everybody tell your friends.
Oh, I don't have any friends. They're all here. But all of you guys watching.
They need to tell
okay. Cool. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I got lots of friends. I have so many friends that I'm going to tell guys. All of them so much. And Fagey said Josh liked the Vikings lose on the final drive. But you held on.
No, if they tackled if they tackled someone like the half-yard line, and the clock was out, they won the game. That's kind of what I did.
That's kind of what it's like. Guys,
trading makes fantasy fun.
Trading does make fantasy fun, and that's going to be it for today. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game show fun, so make sure to tune in then. Until then, though, we are out of here, everybody. Adios.
Bye-bye.